Sorry about that, Oozjack. This carnivore's going to the Unbound.
Dominating. Unstoppable. Double kill.
One of our carts is loaded.
Multi-kill.
Destination.
Oh, we almost killed him.
All ravine, friend.
Like that.
Our job today, gather as many minerals
Oh!
First blood. Killing spree.
Oh.
Double kill. Rampage.
There we go, dude. Hey, what is up, you awesome people? Today, I'm going to show you guys the world's best Arcane Mage build by far. And by the end of the video, you're going to learn how to deal as much freaking damage as possible with Arcane Mage. Okay, so starting with the stats first. Okay, for your best in slot tier set pieces, you want every piece of tier set except the glove. Okay, so again, you want the helm tier set, the shoulders tier set, the chest tier set, and the legs tier set. And then you want to avoid getting the tier set for the gloves. Instead, go for the conquest version. Okay, so as for your necklace, you want the haste and versatility Algari competitors crafted necklace with precog gem on it, and haste and versatility gem. Okay, and also you want the embellishment that gives you a little bit of damage. Sometimes it's quite random, but it's kind of proccing sometimes, and it is best in slot right now. Shoulder tier set. As for the cape, you want the haste and versatility one. Okay, as for the chest, you want haste and mastery tier set piece with crystalline radiance enchant. As for the wrist, you want haste and versatility wrists, but you would need the speed enchant, which I don't have at the moment because I got 12 tunes and it's kind of hard getting best in slot on every single one. And as for the gloves, conquest gloves with haste and versatility. As for your waist, you want haste and versatility again. As for your legs, conquest tier set piece, enchanted with 930 intellect and 895 stamina, which you can buy at the auction house. As for your feet, you want haste and versatility boots. Okay, super important. And as for your rings, okay, both Algari competitors signet with haste and versatility on them, and haste and versatility gems. Okay, so on one of them I got the embellishment that again gives me a little chance to deal more damage, and I'm running double trinkets because I'm a human. Okay, so I'm gonna just get that out of the way. I'm running a human right now, so I can have double trinket. But if you want the best race possible for Arcane Mage, you should be playing a Night Elf. Okay, it is just bonkers OP. And if you want to know which trinket you can replace, it's actually this one right here, the 1 minute unused trinket. Top ranked players in the whole world are actually using prize gladiators, insignia of alacrity, and running with the trinket that removes CCs. Okay, so super important. And as for your main weapon, you want the haste and versatility weapon with authority of radiant power as your enchant. Okay, so that being said, let's jump straight into the talents. Okay, so I'm gonna put the build import code in the description, and also with a bunch of macros in the description. But honestly, what you need to know is we're actually playing a build which revolves a lot on your tier set procs. Alright, so to make it as simple as possible, we're playing with Evocation, which we're going to be using pretty much on cooldown, paired with your Arcane Surge into your Presence of Mind and your Touch of Magi. Okay, so we're playing with Arcane Harmony. If you guys are not, like, you don't know how Arcane Harmony works, basically every time you use Arcane Missile, you gain a stack, and then the next time you're going to use Barrage, it's going to consume those stacks to deal insane Arcane Barrage damage. Okay, so it's pretty freaking cool. And what we're doing is we're actually playing with Aether Attunement. So every 3 times you consume Clear Casting, gain Aether Attunement. What it does is slowly like your tier set proc. It deals huge damage. It sends like missiles flying everywhere, and it pumps insanely hard. Every time you use like those big AoE missiles, you're gonna deal like 10 million damage. It's just dumb, okay? So we're actually playing with high voltage, okay? Damage from arcane missiles has a 10% chance to grant you 1 arcane charge, which we're going to be using to dump our arcane charges into arcane barrage. So it's going super well with arcane harmony, and it goes insanely well with orb barrage. Arcane barrage has a 10% chance per arcane charge consumed to launch an arcane orb in front of you at 100% effectiveness. So when this procs, if it procs multiple times in a row, you're going to be spamming like so many freaking arcane barrages back to back to back to back. So super dumb damage, and that part is uninterruptible, which is absolutely insane. Okay, so charge orb, so we get another orb charge, so we got 2. Okay, on top of those, which will actually randomly spawn when we attack. It's literally a passive, and we're playing with intuition. Casting a damaging spell has a 5% chance to make your next arcane barrage deal 50% increased damage and generate 4 arcane charges. So you see where this is going? You're gonna get a ton of those free arcane barrages, and they're like AoE blasting everything. And arcane barrage is actually a finisher. It's almost as if you're using kill shot as a hunter, except it's AoE. It's an AoE kill shot. It hits everything. So it's pretty freaking cool. And that's about it for the right side of the tree, okay? On the left side, what you absolutely need to know, okay, super important to stay alive as long as possible with Arcane Mage, is we're playing with reduplication. So literally, when you press Mirrors and Mage, okay, it makes you so much more tanky for the whole duration, okay? And every time you take damage, it kills one of your mirror image, and it reduces the cooldown by 10 seconds. So again, when we use mirror image, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mirror image. So every time you take damage, one of them is going to disappear, and it's going to reduce the cooldown by 10 seconds, okay? So 10 seconds, 20, 30, 40, 50 seconds. So every time you use your mirror image, okay, the cooldown on your mirror image is not going to be 2 minutes. It's going to be 1 minute and 10 seconds, all right? And you can actually use your shifting power to reduce its cooldown even further. So every 1 minute, you're going to have a big freaking wall that provides big defense. It reduces all damage by 25%, and it makes you super tanky. So it's insanely important that you guys actually understand how it works. And then we're playing Greater Invis. Okay, Greater Invis is absolutely bonkers. When you press that ability, it acts as if you're using a wall, as they call it, as the pro players call it. Okay, it reduces all damage you take by 60% for 3 seconds. So absolutely insane. You need to abuse that, and it increases your movement speed if you use it in stealth. And then we're using again Master of Time, reduces the cooldown of Alter Time by 10 seconds, and Alter Time resets the cooldown of Blink and Shimmer when you return to your original location. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys why this is so cool. Okay, let's say there's a melee who's trying to kill me right now, okay? I use Alter Time once, and then I teleport, okay? I can actually, like, the melee starts connecting again with me. I use Alter Time again, bam. And then what I can do is actually teleport again, and then I can teleport again, and then I can teleport again. Like, how many times was that? Was that, like, 5 teleports? That is absolutely bonkers. So if you are good at using them, man, your enemies will have a super insanely hard time catching up on you. It's kind of freaking fun, dude. I'm gonna show you guys why I think this passive is bonkers, okay? Let's say that there's a melee character. There's a warrior right there. He's about to charge me. I use all the time. He charges me. I just blink through him. And then he turns around, he leaps, he's right there, he leaps towards me, I just Alter Time again. And then he's actually charging me again, I just teleport again. Let's say he can actually charge again, I can teleport again. And then he's trying to charge again, you can teleport again. then what's happening is you reduce all of your cooldowns again, and you can actually teleport again. How many times was that? Like 6 times? And then you're actually getting ultra time again in 5 seconds. Like, the cooldown is so short, it makes it so, like, it's insane, dude. It's so fun. Like, melees cannot catch you. It's so cool. Keep in mind, we're playing with time manipulation, meaning every time you use your arcane missiles, it reduces the cooldown of your Dragon's Breath, okay? And also your Ring of Frost. So this is absolutely crazy, dude. You can reduce the cooldown of your 2 abilities super fast with that. So keep that in mind. It's super important to stay alive. If I can explain Spell Slinger Hero Talent Tree as simple as I can, basically what's happening is every time you use your Arcane Surge, you're going to conjure some Arcane Splinter, which are going to deal some damage to your main target. Okay, it's going to AoE around your target too, so your enemies around your target are going to take damage, and your Arcane Splinters are going to increase the damage you're dealing to your target. So basically, that's literally what it's doing. It's passive more damage, basically. All right, so keep that in mind. And also, what's happening is, since we're playing with Splintered Orbs, enemies damaged by your Arcane Orb conjure 2 Arcane Splinters. Okay, so up to 4, meaning that every time you Arcane Orb into a bunch of enemies, they actually get some stacking Arcane Splinters damage. Meaning, every time you hit someone with Arcane Orb, they take more damage from all of your abilities. So this is why this build is so insane, especially right now in Solo Queue RPG Blitz. Like, the top ranked players in the whole world are playing this, and I can definitely understand why. As for the very best PvP talents that all the top players are running with right now, okay, they're using Kleptomania if they're playing against Resto Druids, okay? Kleptomania is super insanely good. You remove all the HOTS, the healing overtime effects. You literally grab them and you start healing yourself, and your target does not have healing overtime effects, and you can clap them basically. And if they're not playing against Resto Druids, okay, or other characters that can put HOTS on themselves, they will be playing with overpowered barriers. So me personally, I'm not an insanely good Arcane Mage, and I rather play with Master of Escape, getting me a shorter cooldown on my Greater Invis, which I use it to steal bases, etc. But I need to practice more because overpowered barrier is actually insanely good. So how overpowered barrier works for Arcane Mage is literally when you know you're going to take damage, you press Prismatic Barrier. And if your enemies pierce through that barrier with their damage, your next blink or shimmer is going to grant you immunity to all damage for 3 seconds. It's going to grant you also stealth, so you're going to be invisible, helping you stay alive basically. So it's pretty good. I need some practice with it, but I would say try it out. You're going to see how it goes for you, okay? And then they're playing with Chrono Shift. Chrono Shift is just like, it's baseline. You will never pick another PvP talent instead of that one, okay? It's the best one for Arcane Mage right now at the moment. It used to be a passive, now it's a PvP talent, and yeah, pretty much you're not gonna pick out of that one. Then you've got Ice Wall, okay? Ice Wall is best in slot. It allows you to ninja bases in front of everyone. You just like cut line of sight and you steal that base. Or what you can do is actually go invisible, and then you place the Ice Wall between the DPS and his healer, and you clap him with your whole team. And the enemy healer cannot do shit. So it's super fun. You guys need to abuse that. Alright, I'm going to show you guys the full burst rotation right now. And I've installed an add-on which shows the spells that I'm pressing in real time. So it's going to be super easy for you guys to follow along, okay? But only one thing. Before we actually jump into the meat of the subject, I need to make a priority list with you guys, okay? So it's going to be super simple. It serves as a guideline for what you should be doing, okay? We're going to talk about the whole burst rotation right here, okay? So you got all CDs available. You can press everything. What do? First, you start with evocation, all right? casting Evocation is going to give you 7% more intellect, and it's going to boost your damage super hard. Okay, so you hard cast Evocation first, and then your next ability that you're going to be pressing is going to be Arcane Surge. All right, you press Arcane Surge. This is going to boost your damage even more. Okay, and it applies your splinters on your target, right? Which increases your damage even more, remember? So ideally, you want to clap the target that you use your Arcane Surge on, but it's not always possible. So, but let's say we want to deal as much damage as possible. I'm literally explaining you guys how to do it, okay? So you do Evocation and then Arcane Surge. What else? What is next? We're going to use Touch of Magi into our Presence of Mind. Great. So right now we are peaked. We're dealing the most damage possible. But our next keys that we're going to be pressing are super important. What are we pressing exactly? Well, as soon as you do that rotation perfectly, you're going to get some clear casting procs, meaning you're going to be able to shoot like 2 shots of arcane missiles. And since you've used your Touch of Magi, okay, you're going to proc your tier set, which is going to send like a bazillion freaking missiles everywhere. All right, so what you're going to be doing is use arcane missiles, all right, once, and then what you're going to be doing is use Arcane Blast twice. All right, so 2 times. And then what you're going to be doing is using another Arcane Missile proc. And then what you're going to be doing is Arcane Barrage twice, right? So I'm going to show you guys why right here, okay? Let's say I get a clear casting proc. I use my Arcane Missiles. I do get a proc, which is called Nether Precision. Arcane Blast and Arcane Barrage damage increased by 20%, and you've got 2 stacks of them. Okay, so super important, super important. So you need to actually do that to score as much freaking damage as possible. Every time you use Arcane Missile, you get that proc, Nether Precision, which makes your next 2 Arcane Barrage or your next 2 Arcane Blasts deal 20% more damage. Super important, because your whole window where you're dealing the most damage is when you have Touch of Magi active, you've got Arcane Surge and Evocation, right? All right, so let's get into the full burst rotation. If possible, before entering combat, what you can do is actually use Arcane Barrage 5 times in a row. Why? Because you get a stacking buff, which is called Arcane Tempo, and it increases all your haste by 10%. So if possible, you can actually snap those Arcane Barrages. If not, well, you can go ahead and just do the whole burst rotation. So let's go ahead and actually do it right now. So Evocation into Arcane Surge, we dump that shit, and then we use Arcane Missile into our big Arcane Blast right here. There we go. We're pumping super hard. And then at this point, what you're gonna do is actually reset your CDs about right freaking now, okay? We reset the CDs. Again, Arcane Missiles. We're proccing super hard. Dumping that. We're dumping. Arcane Missiles. We're about to get our second burst right here. All right, any second. Right now, I'm going to use it right now. Arcane Missile, we dump that. And then we're going to Arcane Blast twice right here. Arcane Missile, we dump twice. And so on and so forth. In about 20-ish seconds, we're actually getting our second burst. Okay, with Arcane Surge, it's on cooldown for 20 seconds. And also your Evocation and your Touch of the Magi is on cooldown for 20 seconds. So you're getting your second burst that way. All right. So let's check the damage. Arcane Barrage hitting for 4 million. This is without salt water. This is without like Berserker. Like this is without nothing. And you need to keep in mind, the more targets near your main target, the harder your arcane barrage are gonna hit. Okay, meaning if there's like your main target and 4 targets near your main target, it's going to hit way harder. All right, so with that being said, Arcane Missile critting for 744k. Okay, pretty freaking insane. It AoEs everything, by the way, when you get the proc, so you're kind of smacking everything. And then your Touch of Magi hitting for 7 million. Again, this is without Zerger buff, without nothing. You've got your Arcane Splinter. As I've explained, it's just boosting your damage and dealing a little bit of dot damage, which is weird, but it is how it is. And then Splinter Storm, again, your hero talent. Your Arcane Orb, dealing on average 420k damage. It's AoE again. Arcane Orb serves as a way to boost your damage, generate some arcane charges, so you can dump them into barrage to generate more a barrage in more orbs. It's literally the name of the game right now for Arcane Mage. So again, your Splinter, which is coming from your Arcane Surge, so dealing a little bit more damage. And then you've got your Arcane Blast, critting for upwards to 1.4 million. It used to crit for way harder, okay? Arcane Blast is literally so garbage nowadays, but really, the main damage is coming from Arcane Barrage and Arcane Missiles nowadays. And, you know, Touch of the Magi, you know, those 3 abilities right there, they're like almost like 60% of your total damage, so super important. Remember that the code for this build will be down in the description, and also with a bunch of macros in there if you guys want to check those out. They're pretty good. And hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, please hit the subscribe button, the bell button, super important, because if you don't hit the bell button, YouTube won't show you my next videos. On top of that, what you can do if you want to support me, you can actually become a member of my channel. Yes, for literally less than the price of a cup of coffee. It's $2.99, by the way. You get early access to all of my new videos. And also you can actually feel free to drop down in the comment section a suggestion on the next build video I should be making. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and have fun with this build, because I'm having a ton of fun right now. And hopefully you guys have a fantastic rest of the day and stay awesome. This was Clunky Doo.